is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm filming this video a little late, actually. I planned to film it a while ago, and now we're like behind on videos. But anyways, you're seeing this video when we're actually doing other stuff to the car. But I wanted to upload this video because I was supposed to do it a while ago, and I just didn't get around to it. So we're kind of backtracking just a little bit. Huge thanks to my buddy Matt. If you guys haven't checked out Billet Pro Shop, I need to hang this one up, but Matt over at Billet Pro Shop, he's helped me out a ton. They also own the tie shop. That's where I get my titanium lug nuts and lug studs, all that good stuff. And then the Billet Pro Shop has a bunch of cool stuff for Mustang, so make sure you guys check them out. Link in the description below. And make sure you check out BMR Suspension, code VANV39 if you guys want to save on some suspension products. But today's video is pretty exciting. And you guys will see in the coming videos kind of what's going on with the car. We do have a few setbacks going on, and that's obviously always to be expected when building a car and doing stuff that not many people have done before, but that's kind of the fun in it. But we'll get to that in a few other videos. So today I'm finally showing you guys the transmission. Now, if you guys know what I had before, I had a Turbo 400. I wanted to keep the car. I liked having the extra third gear for some street driving stuff. I thought I'd do a lot more street driving than I actually did with the car. And then the Turbo 400 honestly worked really good with the setup I had. I had 315 gears in the back. I had the Turbo 400 and a big single turbo, and everything worked out really well. The only downfall, I guess, to the Turbo 400 is it has a very aggressive first gear, which you can change that based on your setup. I needed to change the gears in the rear, but I stayed on the stock diff as long as I could because I knew, which you guys will find out in an upcoming video, I knew I was going to go a different route, so I didn't want to waste money on upgrading the stock diff. So if you guys didn't know, I ran a stock diff the whole entire time. Never broke the gears in it, nothing. Didn't break the diff, didn't break the ears on it, nothing. I ran a stock 315 gear from the factory this whole time and never had issues with it. But anyways, I've decided to switch up the setup this year, obviously on the car. The biggest things for the car this year now, I know a lot of people are like, your car's already light for an S550, but you have to remember, a lot of the classes that we race in, we're racing against S197s, SN95s, F bodies, Fox bodies. So yes, my S550 is lighter for your normal street-driven S550, but in the grand scheme of things, we are a heavy car in the classes that we race in. So I've got to try losing some weight anywhere I can, and I need to change the setup. Oh my gosh, that thing is so annoying. And I need to change the setup on the car. So I reached out to HUGHES Performance. I've seen that they've been working with a lot of really fast cars recently. They work with a lot of no prep guys, a lot of street racing guys, and they're starting to work with a lot of radio prep guys like myself. So reached out to HUGHES Performance, hooked up with Pete Nichols over there, and he is awesome. They have treated me so good. And their customer service is freaking amazing. So if you guys need a transmission, whether it's for a GM or Ford application, you can message me and I'll get you hooked up with Pete and see what we can do for you. Or you can message Pete directly, or just message or call HUGHES Performance directly. But they have built some very, very badass transmissions, and a lot of people are switching over to them. Joe just switched over to their bolt together converter. So I'm pretty excited to run some of their stuff. So anyways, we did switch to a Power Glide. Now, I was kind of messing with a lot of people and saying I was going to go back to a 10R80. Here's the thing with the 10R80, okay? It takes less power to spin the 10R80 than the Turbo 400, and then probably the Power Glide, but not as much. It takes a lot of power to spin a Turbo 400. A 10R80, you can spin with less horsepower. So yeah, these guys are going fast in the 10R80s. I'm not knocking anybody at all. Midnight Performance is building some badass 10R80s. Manuel's a good friend of mine. They build some legit 10R80 stuff. But the thing is consistency and reliability within those transmissions. I'm not saying they're not reliable, but nothing is as reliable as a Turbo 400 or a Power Glide. I'm sorry to say it, but nothing is. Back-to-back racing every weekend, nothing is going to be as strong as a Turbo 400 or a Power Glide. It's just not going to happen. Someday that may happen, but the Turbo 400 and the Power Glide can take way more abuse. They're a little bit easier to work on, and parts are really cheap for them, and they're easier to get too. 10R80, not everyone runs them, so you know, if you're at a race on a weekend, you burn up some clutches, someone's probably not just going to have an extra clutch pack laying around for you. So That's why I stick with the GM transmissions. They're lighter, they're cheaper to rebuild, and they're definitely more consistent, more reliable. These have a true trans brake in them, and for what I do, it just makes more sense. Now, like I said, I'm not saying you can't go fast with a 10 or 80. They've proven they can go fast. They've proven they can go stupid fast in a 6R80 with a 4R200 hub. I'm not saying that, I'm not knocking that. I'm saying for what I do, for how much racing I do, these setups are better for me. So anyways, I went with a Powerglide from HUGHES Performance. So it's got an SFI bell housing, SFI case. My old Turbo 400 was a stock case, and I was eventually going to upgrade, but the stock cases on Turbo 400s are really strong, but stock cases on Powerglides are not as strong. So this thing has a ton of Sonax parts in it, lots of billet goodies, but man, this thing is freaking pretty. Sorry, I don't want to take it out of the packaging until we get to Joe's house. So I didn't end up doing dump valves yet on the car. That will probably be something I have to add later on. I just didn't want to do it yet up front. I kind of want to see how the car gets on the two-step. But HUGHES Performance is really well known for their dump systems. So they got stage 1, stage 2 dumps. Pretty much it changes the line pressure. You know, you can change it throughout the run or just on the hit. But anyways, didn't do dump valves, but we'll probably end up adding those. But yeah, this is a Powerglide from HUGHES Performance. Also got flex plate from them, SFI certified, and then I got their converter in there. I didn't do the bolt together converter quite yet. I just couldn't make it work with my budget at the time, so I'll probably end up upgrading that, but it is a welded together converter. And what's really cool is it takes a little bit of time, but HUGHES has this huge tech card that you have to fill out. Literally, you have to fill out compression, stroke, heads, even rod length, how much power, how much weight, the gears you're running. They have you fill out this whole entire tech sheet so that they can spec out the converter specifically for your setup, which is really cool. And so I've helped a few people do theirs, and I did mine. And even if this converter isn't correct, you know, we'll send it back. They'll change the stator in it, whatever. But that is the benefit of getting a bolt together converter. If you guys are wondering, is that they could send you a different stator. You can unbolt the converter, put a new stator in it, and try that for your setup. So that is the advantage of getting a bolt together converter. So hopefully I'll upgrade to that eventually. But yeah, got pretty much everything from HUGHES now. So like I said, we got the flex plate, got the converter, Powerglide. HUGHES even runs their own transmission fluid. So I used to run HighGuard transmission fluid, which never really had a problem with. It's got a higher boiling point, but I'm actually gonna run HUGHES Performance transmission fluid. And what's cool is like anything you need from them, they will add it to the package. So if you want a full system with the shifter, linkage, bell housing, case, converter, flywheel, fluids, trans cooler, they will put a whole kit together for you. But I still had my trans cooler from the previous setup. I still had my flex plate, but I did want to get a new one with new ARP hardware. But they can spec all this stuff out for you if you need it. The only thing they don't have, which I had to get from JPC, is the actual cross member that holds up the transmission. So this is from JPC. It is different than a Turbo 400, if you're wondering. So I did have to order one of these, and obviously when I sold my Turbo 400, I sent him this. So really the only things you'd have to order outside of this, like I said, you can get the shifter, you can get the linkage, literally you can get everything from them. I ended up getting a different shifter, but I probably should have ordered from them. But anyways, really you just need the JPC cross member, and then this little, damn it, this little bushing here. This bushing is used for any GM transmission, so Turbo 400, Powerglide, whatever. You can even get this little adapter. This is a GM to Ford adapter for the input shaft, I believe. And then, like I said, I'm using the trans cooler from before. I need to build some new lines because I'm going to do some new lines on it. I even got the dipstick from them, low carb dipstick. Pretty much only dipstick you should ever run in transmissions. And then I do have a catch can system in there, or attached in that packaging somewhere, for the transmission for some overflow, and then it'll just bring that fluid right back if any fluid comes out. But I am freaking so excited. This thing is a freaking unit. Just want to look at it. So Small block Ford housing, fits Coyotes, small block Fords, everything. But yeah, I'm really excited to be working with Hughes Performance. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is quality of parts, and the biggest thing is also customer service. And that's why I use all the companies that I use, is I really try and go with people that have really good customer service, because some of the stuff that I do to my car is not everyone's doing it. So a lot of stuff that we do is new, it's trial and error, and I need good customer service, and Hughes Performance has been so amazing to me so far. And I've already helped them sell a few other transmissions to some people that knew that this is the company that I went with. And man, their freaking customer service is amazing. Their responsive times are so quick. And so, like I said, if you guys ever need a quote, you know, don't freaking window shop me. But if you're actually interested in getting a Power Glide, they do Turbo 400s also. Message me and we'll get you set up. They build some really nice stuff. This is nice stuff, guys. So if you want to go fast and you want to do it the right way and have something reliable and you want good customer service, Hughes Performance is definitely the way to go. So pretty cool. They sent Pete sent me some shirts, some hats, and some stickers that'll go on the car next year. It's crazy to say next year, like literally the New Year's like 2 weeks away. It's so crazy to say next year, like we're already in 2021. 2020 was an interesting year, so hopefully 2021 is a lot better. But I'm really excited to run this transmission. I've got some huge updates coming to the car. We've got to get this transmission stuff over to Joe's house. The car's already at Joe's. We're already starting to work on the rear end of the car. Still waiting on the motor to get back. We sent the heads off, get some work done to them, which I'll update you guys soon on that when that's done. And then once the heads get back to RPG, Will can assemble the motor, ship it out, and Joe and I can continue on this huge journey. This is literally all the parts minus the rear end that's got to go in the car. So we've got a ton of work to do. And another big setback right now is we're waiting on the wheels, we're waiting on the engine, which the engine should be back in a few weeks. Like I said, just depending on when the heads come back, and I'll update you guys what we did on those. But the freaking wheels always set me back so much time. And we really need the wheels right now because of what we're doing with the rear end. We need the freaking wheels. That's all I can say. But we need the wheels. So if you guys want to call or message Weld Wheels and tell them to hurry up on my order, that'd be great. But just wanted to update you guys on the transmission because I'm really excited to be working with Hughes Performance. Like I said, Pete over there has been freaking amazing to me. And like I said, if anybody needs transmission, whether it's GM or Ford, let me know. They'll hook it up. Like I said, their prices are actually really good for the product that you get. These are good built Power Glide or Turbo 400. They're not cheap, but they're gonna last you a long time. Like I said, they're easy to maintain, easy to rebuild, and they do have some really good prices over at Hughes Performance. So make sure you hit them up, and I'm really excited to show you guys the rest of the build. The next video, you'll finally figure out, or find out if you haven't guessed already, what we're doing to the rear end. And then after that, we're just gonna get rolling and start putting this car together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that update. I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys on the next one.